Well, boys and girls, if there's any doubt in your mind whatsoever that a lot of these big, crazy, agenda-driven stuff is not only backed by the federal government, but is being absolutely issued and funded completely and totally by that, well, ladies and gentlemen, we have none other than our latest exhibit, because obviously many of us are very well aware of what's been going on with Sweet Baby Inc. They got exposed the other week and absolutely got raked over the coals by all the gamers out there in the world, completely and totally devastating them for none other than wokeifying a lot of games and then trying to run a cover story, because after time again, it's a pretty simple correlation. We see all of these really bad woke games out there, all of these games that have horrible storytelling and completely and totally destroy the characters that we've all known and loved for so long. Well, there's been one factor that seems consistent through so many of those games. There's one name we kept seeing over and over again, and that would be Sweet Baby Inc. So obviously, it doesn't take much to put 2 and 2 together, and yes, 2 plus 2 still equals 4. And it went, oh, I guess Sweet Baby Inc. must have anything to do with this, because they're a narrative company. They're a narrative advisory company. So they're the ones changing the stories. They're the ones going, well, you should probably do it this way. Yes, those folks out there, well, they got exposed. A very nice individual out there put a lovely little curator list over out there on Steam listing all of the Sweet Baby Inc. games, because of course a lot of this was prompted by the absolute Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League abysmal failure trash dumpster fire that game was prompted to create this list. So these are all games that you could avoid. Well, Sweet Baby Inc. decided to get very butthurt about this, and because the cancel pigs still thought they had power, they decided to try to erase this guy from the internet. They tried to get him canceled off of Steam. They tried to get his list removed. I'm sure they probably would have tried to get him removed from X as well, but thanks Elon, because guess what? You wokies had Twitter. You don't get X. So guess what? Now we've got more evidence coming out here of a government-backed agency, a government-funded agency coming out there and trying to pressure game developers to denounce the gamers who are actually being harassed by Sweet Baby Inc. So let's check out this beautiful article from That Park Place. U.S. government-funded organization Take This encourages game developers to denounce gamers who are being harassed by Sweet Baby Inc. The organized harassment campaign and cancel campaign against video gamers by Sweet Baby Inc. has taken a dark turn, as U.S. government-funded organization Take This has called on game developers to attack their own customers for standing up to harassment. And here's the problem with all of this. This is how you know they've lost so much of their power, is now it takes a government agency essentially not threatening these companies to get involved with it. Yeah, Big Daddy government, you better, well, it'd be a tragedy if we called you before Congress because, you know, you were just allowing this kind of harassment to go on and you didn't say anything. But wouldn't it be horrible if you got subpoenaed and you had to come before Congress and answer for these kind of things? You wouldn't want that, would you? You wouldn't want a Facebook campaign, or you wouldn't want an Instagram campaign denouncing you, or a TikTok campaign coming after you. You wouldn't want to do that now, would you? No. Except a lot of those threats are falling flat now because the cancel pigs have lost the majority of their power. Because guess what? All it takes is one free speech platform, or at least semi-free speech platform out there, to make the rest of them go, crap. And that's exactly what they've done. And now this is the latest, this Gamergate 2, where Gamergate is winning. Now they're trying to use the government to come after you. Take This, which is run by Dr. Rachel Corritt, instructs game developers to denounce gamers for defending themselves from Sweet Baby Inc. First, the organization's blog post states, if you're reading this, you've probably been hearing about what's now being called Gamergate 2. It's the latest targeted harassment campaign within the game industry, and it's aimed at Sweet Baby Inc., Montreal-based narrative development studio, which is an absolute lie. And that's what John says in this article right here. We know this is an absolute lie because all of us have been watching. We've been paying attention. And tell me what game development company hasn't been paying attention to what's been going on inside of their own community, inside their own fellowship. Tell me that. All of these game developer companies are aware of exactly what is going on. I guarantee it. So yes, as John points out, this is an outright lie. It is Sweet Baby Inc. that is running a targeted harassment campaign. Employees Chris Kindred and Maya Kramer launched their harassment campaign at the end of February following Brazilian gamer KabrutusRambo creating a Steam curator list listing off all the games that Sweet Baby Inc. worked on that are available on Steam and not recommending them. Yes, exactly. We knew this was what happened. Everybody knows this. We've all watched this. We've all seen this. What they are saying, what this Take This company, this doctorate on this blog of theirs, is an absolute bald-faced lie. Kindred made it clear that she and Sweet Baby Inc. wanted the Steam curator list shut down, as well as KabrutusRambo's entire account removed. They wanted him canceled. Cancel pigs. Kindred posted on X, the Steam curator harassment group, Sweet Baby Inc., detected is led by this person, KabrutusRambo. Here's them trying to be slick so they don't get reported. Even with the discriminatory language filed off, the group itself still fails the code of conduct. Oh, really, Chris Kindred, you whiny bag sack of shit. Next, Kindred wrote, anyway, report the fuck out of this group. Targeted harassment campaign? Trying to get your followers to actually go after somebody? Wow, isn't that something we're always accused of? Oh, well, they're review bombing it. They're review bombing it. That's why the score's so bad. We have proof positive of a targeted harassment campaign right here, which once again shows that Take This's statement on their blog is an absolute lie. Finally, Kindred concluded, and report the creator since he loves his account so much. Once again, targeted harassment campaign. Maya Kramer also called on those with authority to step in. She wrote, sorry, no one thing has changed. The number of people who understand that spreading misinformation just lets them be racist in public with no consequences has increased dramatically. That has changed. Probably requires some fighting with those authority. Probably. Oh, ban them, get them removed. Here we go. Once again, what does she mean by this? Who are these people with authority? For example, at Steam, gotta tag them. That's not harassment, is it? Doesn't have a guideline for curators, as far as I can tell. That would prevent someone from starting a curation group that focuses on, say, Sweet Baby Inc. and warns people to not buy their games they're associated with, which could just lift any games at all? Well, I mean, it wouldn't take anybody more than 5 seconds to look at the list and call bunk on it because the games aren't actually have any connection to Sweet Baby Inc. So no, there's nothing wrong with this curator list. And here we go. Redditor, I love it. I love community notes now. I love community notes on X. The curator uses Sweet Baby Inc.'s website for their source. Also, it should be noted that Lego Butts works for Sweet Baby Inc. Community notes for the win once again. Thank you, Elon Musk. Those tactics are not unheard of for Sweet Baby Inc. The company's CEO, Kim Millar, shared how they encourage individuals to use fear and cancel mobs to influence game developers. Millar said in 2019 during a presentation at Gamers Develops Conference, if you're a creative working in AAA, which I did for many years, put this stuff up to your higher-ups. And if they don't see the value, what you're asking for when you ask for consultants, oh yeah, when you ask for consultants like me so I can get a paycheck and so the rest of my company can get paid millions of dollars to come in and do absolutely nothing but ruin companies, yeah, that's exactly what she means. It's literally a mob racket. When you ask for research, go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them with the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't want to give you what you want. Really? Well, that's not a threat now, is it? What would that be? What's going to happen to them? Targeted harassment campaigns by bot farms on social media platforms like we've seen time and time again, like Master of the TDS has proved. We've got bots for Disney. Shout out to Master of the TDS for that. Go check out his stuff. Like, this is them come out and telling you what they are doing. How do we know that movies are going to be woke before they come out? How do we know that things are going to be bad before they come out? Because we listen to what these people are saying. And here it is, her very own words. You can go watch the video for yourself and hear her say this. And she goes on, but they have to consider, I say that out loud as a joke, but it's actually very, very true. Because if you start to consider that people who are player and audience facing have to deal with mitigating harm and with keeping the sentiment around their game and their project positive, there's like a genuine value they could impress upon them both ethically and financially. You could say, this is important. It's also a valid discussion to have because if you're working with a thin narrative budget, you work in AAA, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised or dismayed by the amount of money that marketing can give you. Oh, yes. Fleece them for money. Hire our organizations. Hire on our organizations. Let's just go on and pay us money. So interestingly, Take This is funded by the U.S. government. The Department of Homeland Security announced that the organization would receive a split of nearly $700,000 in grant money for the department's targeted violence and prevention capabilities. Specifically, DHS shared that the organization would receive the grant money as part of Middlebury's Center on Terrorism, Extremism, and Counterterrorism to raise social awareness, provide media literacy, and online critical thinking initiatives, and do civic engagement. They're paying them to be woke. They are paying the federal government, your tax dollars. You are paying this organization to wokeify your very own games. Your tax dollars that come out of your hard-earned check every single week, every single time you get paid, is going to fund take this and their targeted harassment campaign against individual gamers who are simply calling out and asking for their games to be good, for asking to have beautiful women in their games, for asking them to have their games not actually come out and work properly, to not have their video games shove politics down their throat. Gender, anyone? Pronouns, anyone? This has got to stop. Literally, I get it. This is not, a lot of people aren't into politics. I get it, but this is an entertainment thing that is directly being affected by politics. Call your local senator. Call your local congressman. Vote. Because otherwise, your tax dollars will continue to pay for you to get harassed online by people like this trying to simply go out there, by people like you trying to simply go out there and admit that these things are bad, they are woke, and they are trash, and companies like Sweet Baby Inc. are solely responsible for them. Do not let your tax dollars go to pay for your own harassment and the destruction of one of the most beautiful, beautiful forms of media out there, the video game industry that we all know and once loved.